All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching, preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children, Slakia, listening, learning, and to the Bayasha Dabadat, the house of David. Slakia. This is Men of Valor Las Vegas camp. All right, coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the camp. All right. And basically through the Spirit, today we go stick to the basics. All right. Go back to the wing with milk. All right. And let the Spirit start off there and let the Spirit take us where it's going to have us go. All right. But you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the true children of Israel. All right. You are the true children of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God or Jehovah or Yahushua. All right. His name is Yahweh. All right. And who you ignorantly call Jesus. All right. Or Jebus. All right. His name is Yahweh Shai. All right. And these are the powers of Israel. All right. The Israelites, the salvation is only for Israel. All right, salvation belongeth to no other nation. All right, so it's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as you speckled birds. All right, you speckled birds, or if your father's line goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. All right, salvation is promised unto 1/3 of the nation of Israel this go around. All right, but ultimately be saved. But we're going to prove all this through the scriptures.
Book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 4. It reads, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises.
God. So the giving of the law, the services of the Most High. All right. So for you to be an Israelite, all right, you first have to be able to have the law. All right. It had to be given unto your forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right.
And you know, in Egypt, it was given unto Moses.
God.
You know, Yahweh, you know, gave the laws, the 10 Commandments. You know, the Mosaic laws, the 613, I believe, laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for his people. You know, for his people. What's that? Exodus.
Exodus. Just pulling up Exodus 19, but Exodus 3 too. Exodus 19 and 3 through 5.
This is the book of Exodus. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 19, starting at verse 3. And Moses went up into the power, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel.
All right. So Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai said, go unto the people. All right. Go unto Israel. Right. Go unto Jacob. All right. Jacob was surnamed Israel. All right. And his lineage. Okay. All right. Continue.
Verse 4. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself.
So Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai brought a particular people unto himself. All right. You heard about the story. You heard about the story of the Israelites coming out of Egypt. All right. That is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's people. All right. Starting with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you speckled birds. All right. Whose father's line goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. For other nations, salvation is not for you. All right. It doesn't. This is a bloodline thing. All right. And if you don't have the blood, you don't have the blessing. Okay. Continue.
Verse 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenants, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
God, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenants. All right. This is the clause. This is a contractual agreement. All right. That we had agreed upon. All right. With Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. because he had chosen us. All right. He chosen the children of Israel, the 12 tribes, as you see. All right. Go ahead.
Above all people, for all the earth is mine.
Above all people, not some people, not one person. All right. All people. The nation of Israel is above all you heathen nations. All right. It doesn't matter if you're so-called Chinese, Japanese, white. All right. It doesn't matter if you're Hindu. It does not matter. Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai chose the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. All right. And speckled bird whose father's line goes back. That's that seed line. Okay.
Verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. Verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation.
God, we should be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation under Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai, out here on the highways and byways proclaiming his name. All right. Being able to be righteous judges as a complete nation. All right. Of course, you have the elect of the nation. All right. The 144,000 elect men. The governing body. All right. Of Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai. But it said a nation full of priests. All right. So these are men. The men of Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai will make sure and continue throughout our whole entire nation that Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai's law is performed and perfected. All right. No heathen will be able to do anything against an Israelite man or woman. All right. Because you will be called into order by the men.
God. The way that Yahweh, has set things up, through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, is for that the Israelites to rule over you other nations. All right, that's just the way it is. And for my ways are
not your
or
ways.
not your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. I'm from above and you are from below.
God.
So, that's what everything's gearing up to do through prophecy. All right, it's all headed towards the restoration of that order from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and that's the Israelites, having you other nations under slavery. First for the atrocities and the affliction you put on us during the captivity, but also because that's how it was supposed to be. Plain and simple.
I gotta pull 11 Leviticus chapter 44. You got something after that.
This is Leviticus chapter 11, verse 44. For I am the Lord your power. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
God. So Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai stated right there, be ye holy as I am holy. All right. This is that covenant. That covenant is the step to making us holy. All right. Of course, as you've seen, we went off. All right. But there was always clauses in the contract. All right. That fine print. But that fine print, all right, wasn't fine print that wasn't read. Okay. we got read the whole contract in its entirety. All right. And we signed it with blood. All right, from generation to generation to generation. All right. Yeah, that was it.
Deuteronomy 4:4. But ye that cleave unto Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai your power are alive, every one of you this day.
We were alive because of the laws, statutes, and commandments. Hey, before Yahweh had gave Moses the tablets, with the Paleo Hebrew encrypted, laser printed, from the finger of the Most High, with the commandments, with the physical law, it was called what? The breath of life, right? When you breathe life into something, that's what brings it up. So these commandments were set forth, to bring eternal life. But we went off from that. That's why we got that chastisement. Go ahead.
5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahuwah Shem Yahushua, my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land, whether you go to pursue it.
Done. So and why did Yahweh Yahweh Shem Yahushua say to go do these lands in the land that you possess? Because we're going to the land of Canaan, and they were living lawlessly. They were doing their own thing. They didn't have to abide by these laws because they weren't given those morals. Yahweh Shem Yahushua separates us through the commandments, through the laws. We're a better people. And when it comes back to time that the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, come back in rulership, all right, we're going to teach us to the to the rest of the world. And it's going to be a better living, the way it's supposed to be. You ain't going to have these random, hurricanes, floods, and pollution in the world. No, you're going to be living clean air. The food's going to go back to being restored.
And you'll get to breathe clean air for the first time. Right. You'll get to taste clean water for the first time.
The food's not going to be defiled, and that's all going to be, for free.
God.
The food, we ain't going to be charging for the food like that.
God.
But best believe the Israelites are going to get the best of the best.
God.
All right. You got the other one? Yeah, grab that.
This is Psalms 147 and 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Okay. So Jacob and Israel, Jacob was surnamed Israel. So the nation of Israel, stands from Jacob. All right. And that's who has the statutes and commandments and the judgments. Go ahead and finish that.
20. He had not dealt with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
He hasn't dealt with any other nation. Any other nation. All right? None but the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you speckled birds who are of the lineage. All right? And goes to show throughout time, it's always been about Israel. Old Testament and New Testament. Hey, go ahead and pull that right quick, and then follow up with numbers.
This is Proverbs Chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
When the righteous are in their authority, the people rejoice, as the brother was saying. Hey, the land is going to be better. The air is going to be better. The birds are going to rejoice. The trees, the water, everything. The earth is going to get its Sabbath back. All right? The earth has a Sabbath. All right? But through this devil, there's no Sabbath given unto the earth. All right? You can't keep anything in this fucking kingdom.
You saw consume.
Right.
That's one of the philosophies taught here. You eat. What's that? Brother brought it out. The Sprite slogan. Obey your thirst.
Right. Right.
So when you thirsty, you go drink something. That just make you even more thirsty.
God, and it's contrary to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. Obey your thirst. Well, why is your thirst leading you to make your decisions? All right. Do you control your thirst, or your thirst controls you? But hey, it goes to show that y'all a bunch of thirsty ass niggas.
Right. But it's that not having control over your own your own body.
God, your own mental escape. You're a lust. God.
Yeah. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right. And as you see this world, how it's set up right now, everybody's mourning. I don't give a flying 2-cent shit. All right. If you make $150,000 a year or a month, all right, you are going through some type of hell. All right. No matter what nation you are, all right, you're still finding these laws starting to be grievous unto you, especially in these days, in these times. All right. God, more money, more problems. All right. Even the so-called white man. All right. Because in retrospect to these elite bankers, $150,000 a month ain't shit. All right. It ain't shit. and you're not on the echelon of your forefathers. All right? And they don't give a fuck about their nation.
And think about it, when Jack gave money, what does he start doing? He starts living more, like a heathen.
God.
All right, he starts eating, those so-called delicacies, which are abominations, and now he got heart problems, and all other type of uncleanliness,
God.
So he just become more defiled and consumed in it.
God, consumed in his wickedness. He waxed worse and worse. All right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 19. And it says, the power is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent.
God, Yahuwah is not a man that he should lie. All right, so what he promised, all right, through his son, Yahuwah Shai, all right, not a man that he should lie. The promises that were given, they were given unto Israel. All right? They were given unto Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? Yeah. You said read it in Romans? Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
This is Romans 9:4. It says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenant and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and his promises.
The giving, the service, and the promises. All right? God. Go ahead.
The act of doing it, That's we're servants of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah.
God. And what was the giving? He gave us the law.
Right.
The covenant back in Exodus 19. All right? That was the covenant given and it was made. And then you still holding Deuteronomy 4? Yeah, gosh. Then read that again after you pull that.
Verse 4 or verse 5, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever. Amen.
Oh my goodness. That just slapped your whole Jesus loves everybody doctrine all up in the face. All right? God. And all up in the face. All right? You're blonde hair, blue-eyed devil. All right, you're labradoodle. All right, got slapped up all in the face. All right, because your Jesus is not the way. He is not the answer. He is not the light. All right, there's only one true way and only one true light. All right, and it is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
This is just to back that up. Matthew 1:21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shai. And here it says Jesus, but Jesus, it just means Savior.
God.
All right, and Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew just means he delivers,
God.
The deliverer. For he shall save his people from their sins.
His people. His people. It always goes back to that people. For you heathens, you're saying those damn people. Yes. Those people who are damned right now, all right, for going off, all right, but we're not always going to be in this low estate. It is you other nations who will have to answer for the crimes that you have done unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, and the speckled birds who look like the heathen nations.
Hey, Yahweh Shai hasn't saved his people yet.
God, so there goes your I'm saved doctrine. All right. Yeah. If you still in this bitch, all right, you still gotta go to work. All right, you still gotta subject unto payments. All right, if your wife is still going off, you still gotta be here in your fucking captivity. All right, you haven't been delivered from shit. All right, you can't even, hey, let me tell you what, go ahead and don't pay your power bill for 2 months. Don't pay your car note for 2 months. All right, see if they don't take that shit. But you're saved and you're free. All right? You got him, God. It's becoming that beautiful Vegas weather. All right. It's going to be a hot summer. All right. Heating up for that thermonuclear fire.
Going back into Romans 9:4, I'm gonna bring this out real quick before you grab it. It said the service who is giving the law, and then the service. So who's gonna be performing the law in those times?
God.
This is Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God Yahuwah and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of a man."
God.
All right. So our responsibilities here is to have that fear, which is the knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, and then to keep His commandments. That's all we really had to do, and that's all where we have to do. To get back that in the good graces of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and we only got to keep them to the best of our ability. It's not even, we ain't getting judged like we was in the ancient world. All right, we're not getting judged like we go off immediately. No, because Yahweh Shai came back for the deliverance and for that better covenant. To be the ultimate sacrifice, for the nation of Israel, because it was
a better promise.
A better promise. God, water.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We are yet this day in our captivity. All right, and this is in the King James 16 and 11, or the Apocrypha. All right, the Apocrypha, right, which is this book right here. If you ain't got one, or you ain't got a 16 and 11, you need to get one. All right, because you sleeping. All right, you are asleep. You are in a fucking dead state. All right, it's about high time to wake up, as Yahweh Bashim Yahushai says. All right, go ahead, Salak.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
God, He had scattered us for a reproach. All right, He has scattered us for a reproach for our disobedience. All right, for going off, for breaking that covenant. All right, for adhering to the fine print. When we went off, the curses came on us. All right.
Verse 9. Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom.
Give ear to understand wisdom. All right. The ear of wisdom is the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, and performing thereby, to understand that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true children of Israel. All right, and you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. All right, but at the same token, same time, a blessing to come and tell you other heathen nations that you are going into captivity. All right, that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is not your power. All right, that your God, all right, your Jesus, your false idol is a fucking phony.
Verse 10. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead?
No. Hey, we wax old in a strange country, this land of America. All right, this is not our land. We do not belong here. All right? Our forefathers did not come from this land. All right? We belong to the nation of Israel, the land of Israel. That's where our blood comes from. All right? But we are yet this day in our captivity. This day. All right? Look at your history. All right? Look at your colonization that your forefathers did and how they conquered. This is why we are subject unto you still in this estate. All right. This is why that what's called Emancipation Proclamation. All right. The changing of ownership unto the government's hands. All right. We went from a private owner, all right, to a corporate owner. It's like a corporate owner. All right.
That's how we're subject to payments.
Gone. And now, hey, it was for a while that you was only you, the head of the household, that was subject unto payments. All right. But this devil was so clever, all right, deceiving, all right, that he got your woman to kick you out of the house and put her ass under payments too, and lift up her pride. All right. So now everybody's got to pay this damn devil, including his own people. All right.
Verse 11. That thou art counted with them that go down into the grave. Verse 12.
Hey, we are counted to go down in the grave. Go in the grave like you other heathens. All right. The nation of Israel will be eternal. All right. And we were meant to be eternal from the beginning. From the very beginning. But being that we went off, all right, we had to learn both sides of the coin, heads and tails, good and bad, hot and cold. All right, because Yahuwah Shem Yahushai deals with duality. But to be a righteous judge, you have to be able to judge the whole matter in its entirety.
Verse 12. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom.
God, and we forsook the fountain of wisdom, the words of Yahuwah Shem Yahushai, the direction, all right, the direction that was given unto us by Yahuwah Shem Yahushai, by his word, all right, by the covenant.
Verse 13. For if thou hast walked in the way of the power, thou shouldest have dwelled in peace forever.
We should have dwelled in peace forever, but we went off from the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead and pull Deuteronomy 4.
Deuteronomy 4 and 6.
Yeah, start at 6.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all those statutes and say, surely this great nation is wise and understanding people. 7. For the nation is there so great, whose hath the power so high unto them, as Yahuwah Shem Yahushai, our power is in all things that we call upon him for.
All right, and so that was given unto the nation of Israel. All right, that blessing was given unto the nation of Israel, where you other nations will bow down. All right, and say, hey, the Most High is dealing with them. All right, he clinged unto them. All right, we didn't choose him. He chose us. All right, he chose us. That's right.
Sirach 21 and 11 says, he that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof, and the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom.
God, the perfection and the perfection and the fear of the Lord. The fearing of Yahuwah Shem Yahushai is true wisdom. Hey, because what's the beginning of knowledge? Fear. All right? Fear. Fear to understand his judgments. Fear to understand Yahuwah Shem Yahushai is not a respecter of persons. All right? He doesn't give a damn if you're of his nation or not of his nation. If you offend him and you go off from his law, you're going to get it. All right? Go. Yeah, one more.
This is Isaiah, the book of Isaiah.
Go ahead. Yeah, hold that. Read it.
Exodus 3 and 10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee upon Pharaoh, that they may bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
So that's the account that Moses was given the law, statutes, commandments, or was given the order from Yahweh. It's like before the got the commandments, in the stone. But when he was given the order, to go tell Pharaoh, let my people go. All right, and we don't.
It's 11. And Moses said unto the power, who am I, that I should go into Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?
So the children of Israel, that's who these commandments, these laws, this the salvation, is for. It was shown back then. All right. I have one more thing I want to touch on.
Okay.
It's going to be Leviticus 18. Here. This the separation, from us and other nations. Starting at Leviticus 18:2. It says, or I'm going to start at 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord, your power. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, which I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances.
God, Yahuwah Shimi Al-Shai once again gave us a law, gave us statutes, and gave us commandments. All right? That we don't follow after these other heathen nations, that we don't bow ourselves down to their gods. All right? Which are idols, but essentially they're gods. All right? Yahuwah Shimi Al-Shai had them set up for them. All right? Not for him, for them.
Right. That was rule number 1. That's the first commandment.
Right. Matter of fact, go ahead and pull that. 20? Yeah.
Exodus 20. I'm going to read down a little bit for you, brother. Verse 4, Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances. To walk therein, I am the Lord your power. And who's he talking to? Back in verse 2, the children of Israel. All right, he's not talking to Moab. He's not talking to Esau, Edom.
Are you sure?
He's not talking to the Egyptians.
Are you sure?
All right.
I believe, it's everybody who can be saved. All right. Hey, your doctrine is false. All right. It is off. All right. Your understanding is weak and therefore non-existent. Yeah.
Verse 5, Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord, Yahuwah.
God, we should keep his laws, his statutes. All right. And we shall live. All right. Ultimately, God, ultimately, it's the way leading unto eternal life.
What the serpent tell Eve, surely ye shall not die, right?
Right. Hey.
But she knew if she did that, she was gonna die.
Right. But she wanted to follow after that serpent. Right. I was beguiled. He told me a sweet thing.
It sounded good. I was looking at these other people living their best life, getting worshipped on and everything. She wanted some of that same glory.
Right. She said that you only live once. Oh, man.
I could have that type of power, which wasn't ordained for the woman.
Right. All right. Because a woman was meant to be in servitude and subject unto her husband. All right. And really to her family. All right. There's no greater honor for a woman than to be in subject and servitude of her family. All right. Her Lord, which is her husband. All right. Pleasing him, bringing forth children. And then, on top of it, she gets to share in the abundance of everything. All right. The abundance of everything. It's really, TIs, you can get whatever you like. All right. Because whatever you like is my pleasure. All right. It's going to be my pleasure to make sure that you're taken care of. All right. To make sure that you're in order and that you want for nothing. All right. But hey, through sin of the woman, we all die. All right. Go ahead and pull Exodus.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, starting at verse 1. And the power spake all these words, saying, verse 2, I am the Lord, thy power, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt out of the house of bondage. Verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. All right. That's the main point. All right. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Goes on to continue, read down to about 5.
Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee a graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
So no matter what you see, no matter what you feel, or no matter what you hear, all right, you put nothing before me. Nothing. It didn't even say someone, it said nothing. All right, because someone is a thing still. All right? Not the image, nothing before Yahuwah Bashem Yahushua.
Verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord, thy power, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
It is Yahuwah Bashem Yahushua. All right? Yahuwah Bahashem Yahushua that said he is a jealous God. All right? You will not do what you want to do. You will do what I tell you to do. All right? You have a distinct blessing that is given unto you. And I need you, and you will perform it this way.
You just gotta follow, you just gotta follow these instructions.
Right.
But hey, that's the problem with our people. They don't want to follow instructions.
God.
Yeah.
I have seen this people praise a stiff.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead and pull it.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was just about to say. Yeah. Oh, you still holding Isaiah?
Yeah, 43 and 1.
Yeah, you can start at 1.
Say 42.
You said 40. You said 40. No, I thought you said 40. 40. Slack it. That's what I'm saying. He can go ahead and pull it. He's right there. That's what I said. He's in Isaiah. So you go ahead and pull it. Yeah, get stiff-necked people, and then
this is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 9.
Yeah, I know. Our people wanted to go and worship these other idols. You see Jake with the chains on. Let's say their favorite right now. It just got popular.
Right.
They want to be, in tune with their spirit, but not know who controls it.
Right.
Not knowing who they belong to. Right. You got a zeal, but not according to knowledge.
This is Exodus chapter 32, verse 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
I have seen this people, a stiff-necked people. All right, a hard-headed people, a people who cannot shut up, a people who are prideful, a people who cannot understand. All right, you are stiff-necked. Hey, what'd your grandfather tell you? If you shut up, you might learn something. All right, shut your damn mouth, Jake. Shut your mouth. All right, you might learn something if Yahuwah Bashem Yahushua puts the spirit on you. All right.
They come in thinking that you already know everything. Half the time people come up here, and start trying to teach the teachers. And that's one of the biggest problems. It says in James, be swift to hear.
Yeah.
All right. That means quick. Let him grab this real quick.
Isaiah 4:6. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because they has rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that they shall be no priest to me, seeing that has forgiven the law of the power. I will also forget my children.
All right, so our people forgot the law of the Most High. So that's how we got in this predicament right here. That's why you see our people, the lowest of the lows in the ghettos, on drugs, getting killed by these cops out here.
Hey, that goes all back to the curses. It goes all back to the clauses. All right, all the clauses in the contract. All right, the law, statutes, and commandments, as most people know, the 10 commandments. All right, here it is. Most of you Christians don't even abide by the 10 commandments. All right, you don't even abide by the 10. There's 613, but you can't even bring yourself to just perform at least at the very minimum of the 10.
Right. As you pull out, certain precepts that can mislead you into thinking that you don't got to do that no more. But these laws were set in order from the day that they were given to Moses, to fulfill for eternity.
God.
All right, and through the laws, that is wisdom.
Hey, that's
as
real.
we read earlier.
That's real wisdom. All right, real wisdom that is given by Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai.
Like this point real quick, that you reject knowledge.
God.
You don't, because you don't read. You don't read the book.
Right.
All right. And, the scriptures also says, "Let the man that readeth."
God. Hey, well, Isaiah 1.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me.
God. Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai has nourished and brought up children. How did he nourish and bring us up? All right. He took us from the land of Egypt, the place of captivity. All right, where we were as a nation. All right, but yet he delivered us out of that situation. He heard our cries. All right, he told Moses, I hear the cries of my people. All right, so I will send you. All right, I will send you to deliver my people. All right, go ahead.
Verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider.
You do not know, or you do not consider. All right, you don't consider that one, you could be just that special. You could be special in the eyes of Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai. All right, that he is here for you. He don't give a fuck about nobody else. He don't care about the so-called white man. He don't care about the so-called Chinese man. He don't care about the so-called Arabic men. All right? Everybody has a place. You have a place. Your place is with Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai, and to perform his laws, statutes, and commandments as he has set forth for you. To be a judge. All right? To be a priest. To be a holy nation. To be an example of all these nations. All right? For your women to be in order. All right? Here it is. We have the best women given to us by Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai. All right, but in this fucking queendom, all right, they're low and they're fucking wretched. All right, they're horrible.
The first one, to shake their ass. The first one to
bunch of folly.
To talk up, out of order. To the loudest in the room. Okay.
It goes full circle. If you would just shut your damn mouth, Jakes, all right, Jake and Eve, Jake hat, Eve, all right. If you would just shut your mouth, you could learn something, all right. You would learn how special you are.
Yeah, but, a woman they're not going to understand this right now because they're in the power seat along with Esau.
God,
that's why they don't because that's the power couple, and especially the so-called black woman,
right, with the so-called
white man. They think, they pretty much together destroy the rest of the nation. First, from when the woman raises a man, a single parent home, right, because Esau ordained that whole shit.
Hey, that's the will. Hey, it happened since the Willie Lynch and before that. All right, but it was the Willie Lynch manual that really dug in. All right, that shit dug in. It made it stick. All right, here it was. Hey, here it was that she was even getting fucked up during that time. All right, but she was still like, okay, I'll go with it. Why? Because there's a bed. I get to live in the bed.
She was pleased,
right.
To
with the
have
master.
a little bit higher status than she looking down at the rest of her.
Yeah,
she
like
felt some type of way.
Right.
And that's pretty much what the serpent did in the garden with Eve. He got her, to go bite the apple by saying, look, if you do this, you're gonna have this amount of power.
God, and that apple was apple of philosophy. All right, it was that apple of philosophy, not a literal apple. Just got to put that out there.
The other nations, they already had, they were already glorifying their women.
God. All right, but hey, a woman is supposed to be servitude and subject unto you. All right, you're a woman. That's why you say that's my woman. All right, you're gonna take care of what's yours. All right, but hey, if everybody's riding the train, I'm not gonna take care of shit.
So that, a woman is the glory of man.
God, hey, the woman is the glory of a man. Very well said. But in this day, not too many men have glory. All right.
A woman is a possession. That's a man's property.
Yep. But once again, all right. Yes. Yeah, something too, right? He's gonna continue on that, but you got. God, I just want to see what you had too. Okay, God.
This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
Sin. Iniquity is sin.
Right? Continuous sin. Heavy.
Came in a place where we should add, where the majority of our people, that are not, adhere or not coherent, blinded by that gross darkness Yahweh Shemashai placed on them, for chastisement, they just keep on doing and doing more.
Giving up to their own vile lust. All right, this is the same nation. This is the same people that said, "Let His blood," talking about Yahweh Shai, "Let His blood be upon our children, our children's children." All right, and Yahweh Shai said, "By all means, this is what you wanted. Here you go." All right, here it is. I've given you opportunity, time after time after time. But this is what you said. Here you go. You will be without. And now, through the clauses of the contract, through the covenant, all right, that was given unto the nation of Israel, all right, you fall under the lot of the 2/3. All right, 2/3 of our nation will perish by thermonuclear fire, by the sword, all right, which is the modern day gun, by a pestilence, whether it be monkeypox, smallpox, all right, whatever, all right, whatever pestilence is out there. All right, Yahweh Hashem, hey, and through famine, know that famine is knocking right on the door. All right, famine is knocking on the door. That's why you're seeing your store shelves get a little bit lower and lower and lower. All right, and now you're starting to see inflation. And here it was, didn't Creepy Joe? He just gave you gas, right? He just gave you, what was it, 1 million, 2 million barrels? All right.
Joe Biden's just screwing up the whole economy right now. He just sent over, they already had that first bill. He just signed off for something for $40 million to Ukraine.
40 billion.
40 billion. Sorry.
40 billion.
$40 more billion will, your own people and your own country, are starting to lose their houses. Can't, afford food right now. Gas prices is at an extreme. Not the extreme, but at pretty much high.
Hey, it's at a record high. But Creepy Joe, he said, "I'm going to release 2 million barrels of oil from the stockpile. 2 million, and it was supposed to make it to the summer, through the summer. I'm sorry, but
that's why you stop saying price gas is going up.
Right,
Maybe.
But we're already going back up. Is it low?
It just paused for a second.
All right.
but that's gonna come back to kick him in the ass, when that time of war comes. And we know, according to the book of Revelation, it says there was one woe and and another woe, there was 2 woes and another one coming. All right, and that woe is the third world war. All right, and they gonna need that oil in that time. So watch when it's winter, okay, and this third world war kick off. Hey, y'all ain't gonna have heat in your houses.
God, hey,
think about everything that goes off of oil, diesel right now. Diesel's a big problem, and that's what they use to refrigerate, trucks when they come, for the shipments.
Hey, you dummies don't understand something, right? The lights are gonna go off, okay? The lights are gonna go off. It doesn't matter if you have solar anyway, all right? It doesn't matter. If you have solar and you have no backup batteries, all right, you're still on the grid. So when the lights go off, your shit goes off too. All right. When the oil is ran out and they can't turn those turbines anymore, because we're in a water drought. especially here on the West Coast.
Hey, in the news, they say Lake Mead,
It's drying up.
yeah, it's been talked about before.
God, it's been drying up for years. All right, but now Yahweh Shem Yahushua is increasing that heat. That's why through the Spirit, it's going to be a hotter summer than ever. Why? Evaporation. Let that go. Let it go.
You're starting to see the distractions, of all these other, things in the news pop up because they're trying to keep your mind off of the main story. The main war that's going on. They trying to distract you. That they rather give you that Will and Jada bullshit. They rather give you that Roe versus Wade, the abortion thing that's going on. That's just a couple things. And then you got them trying to take away your freedom of speech too. Okay, I got a precept that
No, he's got to hold it.
no, this is Second Esdras 16 and verse 18. It says, "The beginning of sorrow and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment."
Oh, all right, you got famine. All right, famine. Hey, famine is real. All right, to die by hunger. All right, for what I think it was maybe a year ago. Overseas, they had commercials like Ethiopian commercials for Jake over for Americans. Please feed America. All right, here it is. You're supposed to be the most wealthiest nation. All right, have the best of everything. But lo and behold, what's going on? All right, what's going on? You had famine. All right, they got commercials. All right, waving to the camera. We right here. All right, through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Salakia.
Hey, those are all things, as scourges for amendment. Now, what does that mean? That means that's what the Lord, is going to come with, for his compensation. That the wickedness, especially from America, has to pay up, for all their abominations, So that's what he's gonna come with, and what that leads to, it's a good thing, because that leads to the salvation of his people, the elect of the people on this tribe, on the people of this chart.
God, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, in whose father's line goes back. All right, which is considered a speckled bird, because you could look like a so-called Chinese man, look like a so-called white man, look like a so-called Hindu man or woman. All right, you could look like them. But if your father's line, your father's lineage, your father's seed, all right, that semen of your father impregnated a woman, all right, and you happen to continue through your generations, through your father's line, look like somebody else, you're still of the nation of Israel. All right?
That's why, sometimes you come across like that white boy that got swag, and he just be, like Vanilla Ice or something. Something like
Eminem.
Eminem. Alex Caruso. The basketball player, junking on people and everything. That's all Jake, because Jake was made, the salt of the earth.
A better depiction. All right, so you can more so understand is what is his name? He used to play on the Clippers.
Or where I'm from, Sacramento. The Kings, they had Jason Williams. What was his nickname? White Chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's the dude?
He was going down more than anybody out there.
Clippers, tall dude. He was a light-skinned man. He was on Blake Griffin. Yeah.
He was Jake, though.
Yeah. No, where his son looks white.
Yes.
Yeah, because he married a white girl, and his son looks like a straight Edomite.
Right.
But his dad goes back to who?
Right.
Jake.
I had a friend like that. Blonde hair, blue eyes. His dad was a lineman, in the NFL.
God.
You know, big old Judite, you know, 350 pounds. You know, like that's your dad? No, yeah.
Just because he don't look like me, don't mean that I'm not of him. Right?
Yeah, straight hair.
God. Hey, go ahead, pull it.
Jeremiah 12:9. And it says, "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird."
God. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai's heritage is unto him as a speckled bird. All right, a speckled bird.
The birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour many. That's talking about the other heathen nations that have taken us into captivity.
Right. The heathen nations that are taking us into captivities was those other birds. All right. And that's plain and simple. All right. Yahweh Shem Yahushai still ordained that speckled bird from the father's line, the father's lineage. All right. You are of your father. All right. You are of the seed of your father, Salakia.
Right. They knew that they were Israelites. They kept the customs and everything.
God.
You know, but they lost their ways. You know, through being amidst all these other heathen nations.
That's like the Gentile foreigners. All right. Hey, if you spend a time in a country long enough, you pick up the traits. All right. If I lived in China and I had a kid in China, my kid is typically going to speak Chinese. Doesn't mean that he's Chinese. All right. It just means that he knows the language and he happens to have a certain culture. All right. Of these Chinese people. All right. Because this is all he's ever known. He or she. All right. It's no different. Okay. And if he had a son with a Chinese woman, all right, and that son had more Chinese features, and then his son had a baby with another Chinese woman, typically that child is going to come out to look Chinese. All right, because the genes have become a little bit more dominant and prominent. All right. God. Then we'll jump back on.
James 1:1. James is servant of Yahweh and the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Mashiach, the 12 tribes which are scattered above. Greeting.
So the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad. You know, this was James writing, to those Israelite foreigners, to the people, and it says scattered abroad, the 12 tribes, scattered into the whole earth. Okay, so that's why you got these Israelites that look like other nations, that take on the resemblance, take on the customs. Okay, because we're scattered through captivity, through fleeing from destruction, pretty much. That's how the Lord preserved his remnant.
Oh, it's like when war happens. All right, you see all these people take refuge. You see women escaping. Some men escape if they can. Right. All right, but typically men got to go to war.
What's that on?
Iraq,
no,
Iran,
in Africa. They're playing to Europe, somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget exactly right now.
What's going on right now? The refugees, kind of get into. Shoot, it happened with that Mexico, but I was talking about in Haiti.
Yeah, God.
Got everybody over. What was that over in like Texas?
Yeah, all the nations.
Right, but you see how America handles that. when how they get their country.
Hey, it's like when that hurricane happened in the Bahamas. When all the Bahamians were trying to come over here, and the America was like, whoa, wait now, time out. Too many damn, colored people coming over here. All right, sent their asses right on back. All right, and that's supposed to be like a provenance of America in a way.
And those Haitians they were escaping, coming up over here. That was judgment. That was judgment for him because they belong to the 12 tribes. They're the Levites. Right?
Hey, the Levites, which had the office of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, who are close to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Salaki was close to Yahweh to perform the office of the priest. All right, they were the ones doing the sacrifices. The sacrifice offerings and so on and so forth of the office.
That's why you see so many, Haitians deep in that voodoo.
Hey,
They in that voodoo. That's because it's still kind of in their spirit. They just they doing it on the in wickedness now.
God's doing it on the left hand side.
Yahweh gonna restore it back to the way it was. Back to righteousness. That time comes.
Go ahead, pull Deuteronomy 4:32.
Deuteronomy 4:32. For ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that the power created man upon earth, and ask from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there hath been any such thing as this great thing is, or hath been heard like it.
God, there's nothing been heard or there like it. All right, this great thing. And the great thing is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's nation. Go ahead and continue to read. Don't say it.
Verse 33. Did ever people hear the voice of the power, speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and lived? 34. Or hath the power essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation, by temptations, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Lord your power did for you in Egypt before your eyes?
God. How about Shimei Yahushai did that for his people? All right, before your eyes. All right? Before your eyes, Yahweh Shimei Yahushai did that for the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. All right, and the speckled birds thereof. You got a question, Ak, before you go? All right. Yep. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I can't. What's your name?
Eber?
Okay.
Yeah. Eber was the son of Abraham.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, that's where the word Hebrew comes from. Yeah, so real quick, so there's other Hebrews, other than other than the Israelites, because like Moab and Ammon, they're all Hebrews,
right?
But Hebrew Israelites, they come from the descendant of Jacob, right? So and through Jacob, Jacob's cycle. So
it's the lineage, it's the promise. So there's other Hebrews, but the lineage and the promise belongs to the Israelites specifically, right, the 12 tribes.
So that's that special people from the Most High, and that's why Paul, he says, I'm a Hebrew of Hebrews, which really just meant he was a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, that's like because you could be a Hebrew, but you don't belong to. You're not that chosen people.
Right, because the so-called Chinese, so-called Japanese, all right, would be Hebrews because they were born through the lineage of Lot, right? And Lot is a Hebrew Israelite, but through
Abraham.
God. Yep. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Morse. Yeah.
Morse.
Yeah, Morse go back to Israelites. Yeah, because that was when the so-called black man was in power after the Roman Empire. That Byzantine Empire. That was but what is it? Critical race theory, and the craftiness of this the devil, who is actually the white man, he covered the faces, of the judges there. You want to include that in Job 9. Right, and so there's a difference between Canaan and so African and Israelite, so Judah, Benjamin and Levi, that's the southern kingdom right there. They usually have a darker complexion, but because it's the creation of man was out of the dust. You know, so we were made, you know, to have that brown hue. So,
Made from the soil of the earth. All right. All right. Shalom.
if you want to come back and you know, be here on Saturdays, usually around this time. All right, brother.
Done.
Yeah.
Shalom. So,
Okay.
so the lineage coming, right? That's what you said.
He was before Abraham.
Yeah, and I think that's you gotta pay that. Go ahead.
It's like
Yeah. I couldn't hear what he was saying. No.
he said he breaks, so like I don't know if he.
I think he said I was like, I couldn't hear him. I was trying to come closer.
Starting Genesis chapter 10, verse 22. Yeah, the children of Shem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like the name slipped right. Come, go ahead, read it.
Yeah, because you were talking about the overall when the blessing came.
God.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 22. The children of Shem, Elam, and Asher, and Arpachshad, and Lud, and Aram. 23. And the children of Aram were Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arpachshad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber.
Hey, application.
This is Genesis chapter. Going to the name Eber. Eber or Eber means the region beyond, son of Salah, great grandson of Shem, father of Peleg and Joktan, a Gadite chief, a Benjaminite, son of Ephal, a descendant of Sharahaim, Benjaminite, son of Shishak, a priest in the days of Joachim, the son of Jeshua.
Right? So, that's just edification that Yahweh Shem Yahushua wanted to come out. All right? But let's go ahead and get back.
That's what is to pass the bar.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah, the root etymology of Eber goes to abar, and it says to pass over or by or through, alienate, bring, carry, do away, take away, or transgress.
Hey, isn't that exactly what happened to the nation of Israel? Right? We'll be passed over if we transgress the law, but at the same time, we'll be passed over. All right? The remnant. All right? Abarat, we be of that number. All right? Hey, but first you can't be passed over unless you come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua in repentance. Right? Matter of fact, go ahead and go up and pull Deuteronomy 29, 4 and 29.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 29, and it says, but if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy power, thou shalt find him, if thou seek him with all thy heart, and with all thy soul. 30. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy power, and shalt be obedient unto his voice. 31. For the Lord thy power is a merciful power. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he swore unto them.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua said he would not forget the covenant of our fathers if we would but turn around. All right? If we would but amend and trim our ways. All right? Cast off our mortal thoughts. All right? Stop following after our own vain lust. All right? Stop following after your father, the devil.
I got this here on 30. It's about online. Never said it.
It's
Etymology
about-
online, but it's like Eddie. You know, Edamon line, so Hebrew, it's an adjective, and it says traditionally from an ancestral name, Eber, but probably literally one from the other side, perhaps in reference to the river Euphrates, or perhaps simply signifying immigrant, region on the other or opposite. The initial H was restored in English from the 16th century.
Are we not on the other side? Are we not adverse to wickedness? All right. We would be the righteous side through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. The nation of Israel is that side that has to control all other sides. All right. It provides that order under Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Other definitions, it says the ancient Canaanite language of the Hebrews that was revived as the official language of Israel. Another one is a person belonging to the worldwide group claiming descent from Jacob or converted to it, and which we know that's not true,
Right.
and connected by cultural or religious ties. So you could be, you could be tied in, because the world thinks, if you look Chinese and you must be Chinese,
God.
or you could be Chinese and half white, right? But that's not true. But the cultural is really a blood tie that takes you back to being a Hebrew Israelite or a Hebrew, But not all Hebrews were given the covenant.
Right. It's only the Israelites who were given the covenant.
It says that it's not Adam. That's another one. I got that proof or 100.
Verse 18. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared the pedigrees, which is the lineage, the bloodline, after their families, by the house of their fathers.
By the house of their fathers, by the seed of the father, by the lineage, all right, of their fathers. All right, so it doesn't matter what your mother is, it matters what your father is. Right?
There's no such thing as a mixed.
And this is scripture. All right, this is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai telling you through his own words. Okay?
This is Second Esdras 6 and 54. It says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. So I can read that again. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So we all come from Adam, all right, but the chosen people, also come from Adam. That's why there's a separation right there when he said it.
God.
Or else he wouldn't say it like that.
God, it was a distinction. Distinctly saying that I have a people. And all the people that came out of the earth, all right, all the people of the earth came out of Adam. But the special ones, the peculiar treasure, all right, pursuing to Exodus 19, all right, going 3 through 5, all right, that peculiar treasure is the nation of Israel. It's like Israel, Yasharel, all right?
So let me grab this real quick. In Romans 9 and I'm gonna start at 7. It says, neither because, no, I'm gonna start at 6. Romans 9 and 6, not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Isaac shall thou seed be called. All right, because Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac begot Jacob,
Right.
and Jacob begot the 12.
Abraham also had another side.
Right.
Ishmael. Right?
God. But and so that and he said a clear distinction.
Right. So the Ishmaelites, the Hebrews too.
God.
but they don't have the covenant. Right? That blessing line, because you go into Genesis, the earlier chapter, it shows you the line, from doing Shem, to down to Abraham. There went to it didn't go to Ishmael, it went to Isaac.
Right. Because if you read that story, Yahweh said, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, hey, there will be Ishmael will be a great nation. All right, but the promise is not unto them. All right, your promise will be through, all right, Isaac. All right, the lineage will come through Isaac, and that's what I ordained, and that's what I say, and it's gonna go as such. Okay. Let's jump on the Quran.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, starting at verse 13. Should I start verse 13? No, start at book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
So that image that had a wound by the sword, that was the Roman Empire, because they got stabbed, but they eventually re-healed and came back, again into power, where we are today, America, All right.
2.0.
So they came back into rulership, over the Israelites through slavery, captivity, through the will of the Lord, though. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 15. He had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So the image of the beast, which is this art, digital RFID chip. All right, this potato CHIP. What they're trying to the small grain of rice that they're trying to implant into your right hand, your forehead. That, and it's speaking right now. It's speaking. It's coming out more prevalent in the news. Elon Musk, metaverse, metaverse is a, precursor to it for foreshadowing. All right, they're what's that wallet, more, they actually have the consumer, option right now. But as it says, as those that won't bow down to the image of the beast, will be killed.
And actually, it's speaking loud and clear, because there was that also. I forgot what brother posted it, but it's saying how that these Lays, all right, these laser Doritos, all right, can be hacked, all right, are hackable,
Right.
all right, and how they can control how they want to control you through them.
Yeah, because they put the system to the cloud. That's what remember a couple chance ago that doctor was Yuval Harris.
Yeah, Yuval Harris.
He said once pretty much AI and this digital currency system that they're getting ready to implement, you're making your bodies more accessible to be hacked. Okay, because you're putting your information in technology, and technology always has a trace back. that's why, the first examples of this was, you got that thing and put into your dogs,
Yep.
to go track them.
Then you got your phones.
All right, then you got your phones, and then you got your credit cards. And this promotes the ease of access, but it also promotes, being able to have control.
And look how much, and to show you, through the Spirit, that is even more hackable. How many credit card thefts have there been? Since that thing is.
So now all you need to do is replicate the chip.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a digital bug in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Because where Elon Musk want to put it, a couple of other companies, behind the forehead. All right, on the top of your head, which makes it behind your forehead. All right, in that digital grain of rice, all right, that you have. You've seen this. Hey, they have digital rice parties. All right, where they go ahead. You got people wanting to, open their Teslas through it and stuff. So
that was one of the first things Musk had said. He's trying to make it to where you could summon that Tesla with just thinking about it. Hey, but it's funny too because one of the elders posted a video, and I had seen it before. It's a few years old, but pretty much Musk was saying, himself, out of the devil's mouth himself, he was saying that AI is gonna be it's a scary thing, and that it's gonna lead, it could possibly lead to the destruction of the world. Okay, and look what they're doing now.
Examples of that are the movie's Terminator.
One better is what is it? Upgrade.
Surrogates. All these movies, been placed before you to get you, used to. Say what?
Monsters of Man.
Oh, Monsters of Man. Yeah. The robot dude it was in like Thailand or something.
But they were like something like in the jungle.
It was like a drone, right? And then it got hacked, or it lost its control.
Like these military combat droids that.
Right. They lost their ability to control it, and they just bugged out. And it started killing everything. And hey, that's, you don't know. Hey, it's like on that movie Kingsman. They turn up the frequencies, and you don't know how your body's going to react to it because now it's in your DNA. Now it's binded to you. That's what that's what this that technology that killed Gates put out. That are
with John Cusack, they turned to like has some good
Cell.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Turned up the Stephen King. Right?
Yep. Turned up the frequency and people start acting real weird.
Right, same thing.
So,
that's why we see you better in 2 Corinthians 2:11.
This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Least Satan should get the advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
The Lord blessed his servants, the prophets, with that eye salve, with the ability to see through all the bullshit. All the bullshit that these devils put out. And then, it's our job, it's our duty to come out and warn the rest of our people. So they can have the chance, and the opportunity, to not fall into that web that this devil's casting out, that net. It says in Psalms 10, he draws the net. First he crouches down, and then he casts out his net. But he casting that net only for these people first and foremost.
Matter of fact, go ahead and pull that Psalms 10 4. And then let's pull that Psalms 2. Pull Psalms 2. Started at
Psalms 10 and 8. He sitteth in leaky places of the villages. In a secret place doth he murder the innocent.
God, he sitteth and lurketh. You know, hey, when somebody lurking, they hunt him. What does it say in Psalms 37 and 32? The wicked seeketh to slay the righteous. All right, he that dude, you know, that shady ass dude down the block, or you know, on Friday.
That serpent, that snake.
Right.
It's like it.
Right.
That serpent, that snake goes always to show that shadiness was always there.
Right. Yeah. And I just when I heard, you know, when I read, because I reread, you know, surely ye shall not live. Like just sounds sinister. You know, you could say
Surely ye shall
like
not.
in a movie, like
Hey, it sound like Cobra. It sound like Cobra.
Right. Or like Freezer. If you say that, Freezer said that, it would be like, man, what's this? Like, it just sounds dark. That's the same thing he's doing. He like that shady dude you see across the street going like this.
Right.
I'm trying to scope out the next lick.
See if you're gonna be home or not. Are they going out of town?
Right.
All right. You know. Go ahead.
His eyes prevail set against the poor. 9. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den, and he lieth in wait and catch the poor. He does not catch the poor when he draw him into his net.
He would catch the poor, man. Because he's sitting back on his throne right now. He already got, you know, his lionesses, you know, they could be the police, you know, his secret agents.
It could be
You know, Eve a secret agent. You know, she don't even know it. You know, these 2/3 are secret agents because they all falling in line with these devils. Celebrities. You know, they all work that sorcery or that wickedness. All right, because they caught up in this thing. They caught up in the enchantments that this devil puts out. Just like he's trying to get you to take this thing right now. He's trying to expose you to it. So when you come around, you know, hey, you gonna die if you don't take this.
Right.
You gonna fall for it.
You gonna, hey, in truth and
You wanna
honesty,
eat.
you gonna die.
No, you gonna die anyway if you're not of the elect. You wanna eat or not? That's a simple answer. If you don't got the knowledge, if you don't know that you setting yourself up to be destroyed, and what does the scripture say? Fear not the man that can kill the body, but the one that can destroy both body and soul.
This is John 8 and 44. Ye are the father of the devil.
And you are your father, the devil. All right, you continue and want to be of his ways and do everything it is that he does. You want to adhere to his system. All right, you want to be just like him. You want to drive his cars, wear his suits. All right, and you women want to have his woman's hair, her eyes, and you dudes too. All right, you want to be perverse like that man is perverse. God, hey,
he dying his little clothes blind.
right. Cisco was out a long time ago, but I guess he's coming back. Right? Hey, it's a throwback. You know Jay can't leave it alone. It's more wicked than the wicked. Go ahead and continue.
And the lust of your father you will do.
The lust of your father you will do. All right, so all that your father wanted to perform, all right, and do, you gonna do. All right, and matter of fact, you're gonna do it even better. You're gonna do it even better. Why? Because you belong to Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai. You 2/3. All right, matter of fact, can you pull that? Go ahead and continue on that.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was a murderer from the beginning because it was that same spirit that was in Cain, all right, that killed Abel, and it was that same serpent who essentially killed Eve, all right, who led Adam to death. All right, it's that same lion ass, snake ass nigga who's peeping around the corner. All right, trying to see what's going on.
The serpent didn't approach Eve while she was with Adam.
God,
For damn sure, we wasn't gonna play that. He got her while she was, alone. He had to get her by herself.
yeah, she was coming out of the bush or something. That was it, right?
susceptible.
Yeah, after that, then pull that.
And going not in the truth, because there's no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he's a liar and a father of it.
That's the definition of these devils. They are estranged from the womb, born speaking lies.
God.
All right. Hey, he's the
He's the
the creator of wickedness, man.
he's not.
He's not the creator.
He's the vessel.
He's the vessel.
He's a vessel fit unto destruction.
Like,
All right. Yeah, that was it, right? God, go ahead, Garage.
This is the book of Hebrews chapter 12, starting at verse 25. See that ye refuse not him that speaketh, for if they escape not who refused him that spake on earth, much more shall not we escape if we turn away from him that speaketh from heaven.
God. So we didn't escape. All right? We didn't escape. Read that one more time, Salaki.
Hebrews 12 and 25. See that ye refuse not him that speaketh.
All right, so see that you don't refuse Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But what did we do? All right, we did refuse. All right, we essentially went off from the law, statutes, and commandments. We rejected the knowledge. All right, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Go ahead and continue.
Or if they escape not, who refused him that spake on earth?
Because you're not going to escape. All right, who has ever escaped? All right, the chastening of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai or the judgments? Let me think. Not one. Not one. You know any? Is there any? There's nobody. Everybody. Hey, no judgment is not expedient. All right. No judgment is not expedient. All right. It's still going to come. Hey, though it tarry, wait for it. All right.
It said, okay, much more shall not we escape if we turn away from him that speaketh from heaven.
All right. So we definitely will not escape if we turn away from him that speaketh from the heavens.
Verse 26.
All right.
Whose voice then shook the earth, but now he hath promised, saying, yet once more, I shake not the earth only, but also heaven.
God. All right. Go ahead and drop it. Go ahead.
Zechariah 13 and 8 says, and it 13 and 8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So 2/3 of our nation shall be cut off from the promise on this side. All right? Because they wanted to be after their father, the devil. They wanted to adhere to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Esau, Edom. All right? Matter of fact, pull Isaiah 10 and 10. I asked you to pull it earlier. I don't know if you still have it, but pull Isaiah. God. All right? Slaki, hold it right quick.
Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined.
Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to bring that 1/3 through the fire. All right? That 1/3 will see salvation and make it through the destruction. All right? But that 2/3, right, wants to be after their father. All right? The devil. All right? He's going to refine the 1/3. Hey, and this has all happened simultaneously. All right? This is not going to happen a year over here and a year over there. This is all at the same token, same time. All right? Goes to show you how righteous and powerful Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is. All right? And he will refine us. All right? And this is part of that refining process to understand the law, statutes, and commandments, to understand the wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the fear first and foremost. All right? To have that fear to receive the wisdom, the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right?
I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power.
God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is trying us. All right? He's trying every man, woman, and child. All right? Hey, and you're getting a marker. All right? Whether you're going to adhere to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or you're going to adhere to the law, statutes, and commandments of the devil. All right? The so-called white man and his system. All right? If you want to keep it perfectly and be a part of his system. All right? Matter of fact, Go ahead and pull that. Isaiah 10 and 10.
Look at Isaiah chapter.
Oh, it's lucky. Start at 1. Start at 1.
Yeah.
10 and 1.
This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Woe unto them. All right, and that's it's chief in Esau, Edom. All right, they all their unrighteous decrees, so you 2/3 can follow after him. All right, but they're unrighteous, especially unto the nation of Israel. All right, but once again, John 8 and 44. You're going to do the lust of your father and do his, you're going to do what he wants you to do. All right? Yeah.
Verse 2, turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey.
God. And he made, what did he do? All right? He essentially made the 2/3 his prey. All right, took the right from his people, and the right of his people is what? The law, statutes, and commandments that rightfully belong to the nation of Israel. All right, here it is. This devil has set his kingdom up after, mirroring in a way and said that you were a nation led by the book. All right, that was part of the beguiling system. All right, because hey, Jake has a zeal, but not according to knowledge.
Right.
All right.
To head off, Esau got the rest of the Jack thinking that book isn't for them.
God.
By doing it, they think this is the so-called white man's.
God. What do they go so far as to say, hey, King James was a transfer or a vote, and all that. Hey man, there is no end to the perfectness, the perfect wickedness of the perfect wicked vessel, the vessel fit for dishonor. All right, there's nothing perfect. He is perfect in his perfection. All right. Yeah. Yeah, keep on going.
Isaiah 10 and 3. And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory?
God, who will flee? All right, where will you go? All right, where will you go? Read that again. But where will you go? Listen closely.
Isaiah chapter 10, verse 3. And what will ye do in the day of visitation?
When Yahweh sends Yahweh to come and visit, all right, where will you 2/3 go? Where will you other nations go? But chiefly Esau, Edom, for the unrighteous decrees that you have decreed, from taking the right from the poor, all right, from helping the 2/3 of the nation of Israel go astray.
And in the desolation which shall come from far, to whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory?
Con, that desolation is going to come from far on many levels. All right, it's going to come from afar, from the east. All right, all right, from those other nations, but chiefly, hey, Yahweh Shai through Yahweh. All right. Yeah, you got something.
Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call good evil. Sorry, I'll start again. This is Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Woe unto you, the turning of things upside down. All right. Once again, to call evil good and to call good evil. All right. Woe unto you. Whoa. What is a woe? All right. Hey, there's many woes. All right. Death, famine, and destruction. Whoa. Whoa. All right. Hey, it's like that Black Rob song. Like troll, night blow. Like whoa. All right. This is woe. That woe is heavy. All right. Heavy. And it's going to be laid upon y'all. All right. Abaratazah. We see salvation. All right. Abaratazah. We are those men counted worthy. Okay?
This is Isaiah chapter 8, starting at verse 20. Verse 18. Behold, I and the children whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel from the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. 19. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their power for the living to the dead?
John. Yeah, drop it. Don't pull that. Pull 7 and 17. Isaiah 7. Yep.
Isaiah 7 and 17, and it says, the Lord shall bring upon thee and upon thy people and upon thy father's house days that have not come, from that day that Ephraim departed from Judah, even the king of Assyria.
So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to bring a day and a time that hasn't been upon them. All right? Hasn't been upon them like a time ever before. That one's mine. All right? It's like a time that's ever before. All right? I'll get yours in a second. All right? Matter of fact, go ahead and break that down.
Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 7.
Yeah, because yours is out. You left yours out.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, verse 17.
Pretty much gone.
And it says, the Lord shall bring upon thee and upon thy people and upon thy father's house days that have not come, from the day that Ephraim departed from Judah, even the king of Assyria.
Right, the days that have not come. All right? I just had the brother read that because, hey, it's like days haven't come. What happened when Ephraim and Judah departed? All right? Hey, this is where we are. This is it. This is what happened. All right? All this that you see in your land of captivity, wherever you are right now, you are not where you're supposed to be. In righteousness. You're where you're supposed to be for the righteousness of judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? But this is not this is not your rest. All right? Okay, drop that. That's what. Okay, he grabbed Amos.
Amos 9.
Oh, shize.
Amos 9 and 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as the days of old. All right. It's the rebuilding of the structure that was once before. All right. Northern and Southern Kingdom coming back unto that one state. All right. That they may possess the remnant of Edom, and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord that do this.
Hey, so how about Hashem Yahushua who's going to do this? Right? He's going to make sure that he builds the breaches thereof. Right? To bring back the remnant of people. Matter of fact, pull Isaiah 10 and 20. Matter of fact, you read it. Yeah.
This is Isaiah 10 and 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such that are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Right? Hey, in the truth of who they are, you know,
Who they are and whose they are.
right?
All right, and everything that belongeth unto them. All right,
Back in our righteous land, our righteous state.
God. All right. Hey, this is the will. All right, this is the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, to have his people govern over all these other nations. All right, to put them in subjection and servitude. All right, so that his word can go forth and his name can be praised. All right, and the world could be better. Yeah.
So Amos 9:13. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed, and mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
God. And all the hills will melt with the thermonuclear fire, the ICBM. All right, the ICBM missile that's going to hit this land, especially of America, but it's going to hit multiple lands around the planet. All right, especially America first and foremost, and also the nation, the land of Israel. All right, because the land of Israel needs to be cleaned from all the filth and the abominations that goes thereby. All right, we need it to yield its fruit again. All right, to be acceptable unto our power. All right, and right now you devils got it defiled.
Verse 14. I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities, and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink of wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be food left out of their land, which I have given them, saith the Lord thy power.
God, so Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to return us unto our land and restore us in our righteousness. All right, that we are the servants of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Hey, let's close out on the new covenant. All right, go ahead, Darash, pull the new covenant. Oh, baby.
It's the book of Jeremiah.
Hey, that's the final call of the Spirit.
That's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
God, a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Once again, to show you that the law, the promises, all right, and deliverance belongs unto you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And it's 1/3 of you who it belongs unto now. All right, 2/3 will know that death by pain, know it by fire, famine, pestilence, or anything thereof. All right.
Verse 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
So not the old covenant, even though we have the love of the old covenant right now that made us and drawed us unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, that fine print. There was that fine print that in that clause of that contract, that fine print, all right, is after you mess up, because I'm all omnipotent, I'm the most high, I already know, all right, after you mess up, all right, I'm going to have a second one for you. I'm going to have a second one. Did he not have two stones of tablets? All right, did that not happen? Okay, go ahead.
Verse 4 says, with my covenant they break, although I wasn't husband unto them, saith the Lord.
God, even though we broke it, that fine print, that detail, all right, that detail, when we signed the contract by Moses reading the book, all right, and sprinkling blood on the book and sprinkling blood on us as a nation. Go ahead.
34. 33, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord.
That fine print, that new one, I shall make this covenant in that day.
I will put my law in their inward parts.
I will put the law in their inward parts, in their hearts and in their mind. Go ahead.
And write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people.
Right. We will be his people and he will be our power. All right. Our very soul. All right. Our soul, our body, and everything will belong unto Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai fully. All right. And as it was written, all right, this is the writing of the new covenant for the children of Israel and no other nation. All right.
Verse 34, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord, for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more.
God, Yahuwah Bashim Yahushai will forgive the iniquity of the nation of Israel for going off and being disobedient, and he will remember it no more. All right. He will put the laws in our inward parts, that we, in the very essence of us, belongeth unto him in righteousness, so we can be as our Father is. All right. So we can perform as our Father performs, his judgments, his works, and his mindset, that we may never go off again. All right. With that, Lord willing, this was edifying unto the spirit. We want to give all honor and glory and praise unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadosh.
double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning to the buyers Shadabadad, the house of David. So the next time we say from Yasharala, from Yasharala, wa above the wall, Shalom. I got tongue twisted. It's all right.